Please stay safe, hydrated. This is live number 30. Please check out my other content pertaining to Sean Puffy Combs. This case here with Travis Decker and other breaking news. A update was given by the Sheriff's Office, Police Department a little while ago, but there are no new updates of Mr. Decker being found, located. If you have any information, please contact the local Sheriff's Department, Police Department. This content was from a day ago pertaining to what documents show about who Travis Decker is. We're going to use present tense, and mental state and issues he had. So we're going to ask all those questions. Who he is, why did he get visitation, living in a car, campground, motels. When was the last time he was living in the house with the mother and the children? How did he treat the mother and the children when he was with them? How long were they together? We'll ask all those questions. Welcome to the Vault XL. Thank you for your time.
Memorial grows outside of an elementary school in Wenatchee in honor of 3 missing girls found dead following a visitation with their father. Good evening, I'm Steve Solis.
And I'm Mary Nam. The girls were reported missing Friday night. This morning, the Chelan County Sheriff's Office confirmed their bodies were found yesterday near the Rock Island campground outside of Leavenworth.
Investigators also found the truck belonging to their father, Travis Decker, who is now on the run and wanted for murder and kidnapping. We have team coverage tonight, including Jeremy Harris talking with State Patrol about why it never issued an Amber Alert for the girls.
We start with KOMO's Lynn Wynn live in Wenatchee, where a vigil for the sisters is about to start. Lynn?
Yeah, that vigil just getting started behind me. Dozens and dozens of people gathering here to remember the sisters tonight. Those girls were visiting, spending time with their father as part of court-ordered visitation, though according to court records, their father had been homeless, was not supposed to have any overnight visits, and was also experiencing mental health issues.
The search for 5-year-old Olivia, 8-year-old Evelyn, and 9-year-old Peyton has ended in tragedy. Days after their father, Travis Decker, was supposed to bring them back to their mother. According to court documents, flock cameras and other resources helped authorities narrow the search down to the area of the Rock Island campground, where they found Decker's truck with 2 bloody handprints on the back. The bodies of all 3 girls were found about 75 to 100 yards away down an embankment. Investigators noted zip ties and plastic bags were scattered throughout the area, and it appeared the girls had been suffocated. Authorities blocked the area off to public access as community members learned the shocking news.
Having my own daughter, and if I cannot imagine if somebody can harm, that's shocking. I don't know what this mother is going through. It's probably that's the hell on earth.
Court documents reveal Decker was diagnosed with borderline personality disorder and was supposed to get mental health treatment and anger management according to a court-ordered plan, but hadn't. All 3 victims attended Lincoln Elementary, where the community is reeling from the tragic loss. An online fundraiser has already collected nearly $200,000 for the victim's family. The organizer writing, "These girls were a true light in this world, and it is a darker place without them. I will miss seeing their sweet little faces."
And Decker remains at large. The reward for any information that leads to his capture is now up to $20,000. Authorities also say that Decker is former military and has a lot of training and should be considered dangerous. We are continuing to stay out here and following as the community honors these 3 sisters, and we'll continue to bring you updates on air and online from here in Wenatchee. Reporting live in Wenatchee tonight, Lynn Wynn, KOMO News.
Lynn, thank you. So with the tragic end of the search for the 3 girls, many are now asking why there was no Amber Alert issue. Today, KOMO's Jeremy Harris took that question to the Washington State Patrol, which is assisting in the investigation. He joins us live now at State Patrol headquarters in Olympia. Jeremy.
Steve, the State Patrol oversees the state's alert systems, and they were involved in this case very early on when the girls went missing. But there are strict requirements for Amber Alerts, and the State Patrol says this case simply did not meet them. Within 24 hours of the disappearance of 3 young sisters in Wenatchee, the Washington State Patrol issued this endangered missing person alert with their names, photos, and calling their father, Travis Decker, a suspect. It included a picture of his pickup truck, but there was no Amber Alert.
In short, it didn't meet the federal requirements for an Amber Alert.
Chris Loftus with the Washington State Patrol says investigators looked into the possibility of an Amber Alert.
We were having discussions with them from Friday night on. We weren't eligible for the Amber, and what could we use? And the Amber was the best we could do. The difference between IMPA and Amber, the Amber has that push notification that we all get on our phones, makes the loud noise, and you have to look at it and you have to turn it off. So you have to address it. The IMPA does not have that.
Amber Alerts must meet specific requirements, including proof of an abduction and belief that children are in imminent danger of injury or death. In this case, investigators say Travis Decker had permission to take the girls for visitation.
Just because a parent with custodial privileges is late bringing a child back does not mean there's been an abduction.
With the girls all now dead and an active manhunt for Travis Decker, Loftus says the investigators had to act with the information they had at the time.
And it's important that we maintain those requirements lest our alert systems become noise rather than signal. We do all we can do, and sometimes it's not enough, and it breaks your heart.
So there are 4 levels of alerts that the State Patrol can use. The Amber Alert, the EMPA alert there, which is endangered missing person. They also have silver alerts for seniors, and then also a missing indigenous person alert. The State Patrol says this year there have been 3 Amber alerts and 14 of those EMPA alerts like were used in this case. Reporting live in Olympia, Jeremy Harris, Como News.
Jeremy, a question we are seeing a lot on social media is, could keeping children past their visitation deadline be considered a reason to believe they are in danger?
Well, and that's one of the questions that I asked here to the State Patrol, and they said that information alone, while it might be concerning, it's not direct evidence that there was an abduction, and it's also not direct evidence that these children were in danger. And reading through the court documents, the mother of the 3 girls told police that he had previously taken the girls on camping trips. It was very unusual for him to not be in contact during these custody visits. So it seems from the court records that there really was no direct evidence that these girls were in danger, even though their father had kept them past that time when the visitation was supposed to end.
Okay, Jeremy Harris, live at Olympia. Thank you. Time now to scan the QR code on your screen to take part in our Como Pulse Poll. Tonight, the question we're asking, should the criteria for Amber Alerts change? These are the live results coming in right now. 91% of you say yes, while 9% of you say no. You still have plenty of time to vote. We'll share an update on these results for you tonight at 11.
All right.
And stick with Como for continuing coverage on this developing story. As we follow the search for Travis Decker and any other developments, we'll have the latest here.
We're going to go back, get some photographs. It's bad business. Bad business. We have 3 children who are no longer alive, believed to have been murdered by their own biological father, Mr. Travis Decker. Okay? Suffocated. What I'm confused about is the blood on the back of the truck. 2 handprints, assumingly his handprints, I guess. So did the children bleed out for there to have been blood on his hands? Zip ties, bags thrown about, or the children were found deceased 75 to 100 yards from one another down an embankment near the campground where he allegedly was supposed to be camping. Have taken the children camping before, had permission, so Amber Alert couldn't be used. Will an Amber Alert change in the state of Washington? We will see. Where I have the problem is, why was this woman allowing her children to see this man? Did she not tell the court he has mental issues, he has problems, or did she not know? Why were they not together? When was the last time they were together? When was the last time he saw a doctor, physician, a therapist? I didn't hear when I listened to this previously that he had not complied with the provisions of the custody as far as the seeking anger management and mental health. So when was the last time he saw anybody? Was he prescribed meds, mental meds, psychotic meds? Let's dig into the belly of the beast of borderline personality. Welcome to the Violent Excel. Thank you for your time. This is live number 3, or 1 for this day, because it's now a new day. Sorry about that. The symptoms are pervasive instability in moods, interpersonal relationships. This means people can't keep relationships. Self-image and behavior, impulsivity, unhealthy self-perception. This means self-doubt. Trouble regulating emotions. This means the person stays moody a lot. Risk of self-destructive behavior and suicide. Main treatment is talk therapy. So once again, when was the last time he actually talked to a licensed professional about his moods, his attitude? When was he last diagnosed? Does he have any other mental illnesses? Borderline personality. Also supposed to be seeking mental health and with anger management. So that means he popped off. One would ask, what's the worst he's done? Well, I'd say killed 3 of his children. That probably is the worst. That's probably the worst. You can add that to the list. That's probably the top of the list. Now, how did it come to be that Travis Decker would unalive his children? What was the motive? Take the polls on my community page. Pertaining to Mr. Decker, is he alive? Number 1. What was the motive? Number 2, I don't think I put a motive on the poll. So I ask you here, what was the motive? That's why I asked when was the last time he was with the mother? What problems were they having? How long were they together? How did they meet? How did he treat the children? How did he treat her? All those things matter to why we're here today with an alleged missing man. And if he's missing, then that means he's capable of homicide. So I don't think someone would willingly give them their car. Stay woke, everybody. Because his truck is left standing still. So where is Mr. Decker? Mr. Decker, are you alive? If you're dead, you can't answer, but we're asking, is Mr. Decker alive? Check the poll on my community page. This is depressing. Hello, everybody in the chat. Thank you for joining me. 3 beautiful girls snuffed out. 5, 8, and 9. Don't know who's having a birthday this year. Sadly, these beautiful kids won't see one another, their parents, or another birthday, holiday, Christmas. Grow up, have dreams and goals. They're no longer alive. What the hell is wrong with this dude? So now we gotta wait to see who's gonna come out and start giving us the business of who Mr. Decker is. What happened to him in the military? Does he have a criminal record? Haven't heard. Who's gonna come from the military to tell us what he was like? Honorably discharged? Haven't heard that he was dishonorably discharged. Criminal activity? We'll wait and see. Because people always come out in true crime, do they not? And I mean, they come out flocking like a bunch of birds and hyenas. And then that's when all you all start chiming in. Let me tell you what I heard, Queen. I heard this. They said he did this. All I want is the truth. Because 3 children are no longer here. And they can't tell us anything about their visit with their father, how he acted, how he talked. I would assume he planned this. But then side effects of having this borderline personality is impulsivity. So maybe he just popped off during their visit, looked at the kids. Maybe he looked at them, saw something, saw the enemy. I don't know. Was this a planned event? Do you believe he planned this? Mommy's not getting her kids back. I'm not giving them back. I'm mad, I'm angry, I'm bitter. Was he mad at the world, mad at the mother, mad at society? Could it be that he was schizophrenic? Gotta ask that question too. Does he have other diagnoses that have not been diagnosed? Gotta ask. Who is Travis Decker? Why would he unalive his kids? Why I have a problem with this story is the obvious. A man sleeping in his damn car? Come on now. A grown-ass man with no job. Nobody's mentioned a job. Hello? Ding, ding, ding. Y'all don't hear the bells? I do. Ding, 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 ding. Where's your job at? Because a man can do about anything for work. Hell, you go where work is. So when was the last time he worked? Was he able to work? So you got to ask all those questions. When did Mr. Decker last have a job, a place to live? Where's his family? Where are his friends? Where's his mom? Where's his dad? Does he have siblings? When was the last time he was with his mother? See, all that matters to why we are here talking about 3 dead kids and a father allegedly on the run. You got to ask all those questions. How did he get to be homeless? Because we already know he could get a job somewhere. So we're not going to sugarcoat, oh, he's sleeping in his truck, he couldn't get a job, and blah, blah, blah. Come on with all that. We have people who are autistic and mentally challenged working jobs. So there's no way I'm going to sit and believe he could not work a job unless a doctor diagnosed him with some type of issue, mental disability, and he was getting disability checks. Was he overwhelmed with paying child support, paying for 3 children? You probably get milked a lot of money. Hey, but it is what it is. Those are your kids. You brought them here. It's not their fault. They didn't choose you. They didn't choose the mama. And they definitely didn't choose to be suffocated to death. Mr. Decker, how did you kill the kids? With plastic bags? It's a cruel death. Even a doctor would tell you it's a cruel death. Asphyxiation is a cruel way to go. Drowning. 2 worst ways to go. Asphyxiation, drowning. Shut your mouth. Very heavy if you drown. I should say so, sucking down a lot of water. Hand over nose, mouth, plastic bag, put in a covering tub. You see where I'm going. That's a cruel way to go, baby. And Queen, one of her pet peeves. We ain't trying to drown and we ain't trying to be suffocated. I did a little research about that years ago when I was covering the Camille McKinney case, a little black girl in toddler in Alabama, Birmingham, who was suffocated to death. And when I read the description of what it would entail, which is so weird because you're thinking to yourself, how can a person alive describe those deaths if you're not dead? But you see where I'm going. It sounds horrific. To be choked, strangled, suffocated, drowned by water. These are babies, can't fight back. Father 5'8", right under 200 pounds, lot of weight. Can't fight back, don't see it coming. Just walk up behind a kid, boom, 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 plastic bag over the head, pull it tight. Zip ties, what were the zip ties for? Help the Queen understand. Mr. Decker, if you are alive, why did you need the zip ties? This is cruel. When they say cruel and unusual punishment for inmates, for somebody alive who ain't done nothing to you. Because as I said before, the children did not choose this destiny, the parents. As none of us chose our parents. And these children got stuck with the worst. A father who was unhinged. And I got a funky feeling that somebody knew that Mr. Decker was unhinged. And he got a pass. And sadly, 3 people have paid the piper for a pass. Because this shit happens every day. Because as I said, you can best believe it is now Thursday. I'll give it to Monday. The birds will start chirping. Coulda, woulda, shoulda. I got to tell you something. I got to tell y'all what happened. I got to tell you what happened to him in 11th grade, 12th grade, in the military, after the military. That's what I'm waiting on. All the coulda, woulda, shoulda. Because I've noticed we just live in a world where everything's a pass. I know, I speak from experience. I look around me every day and I see shit that's so fucked up and foul and nobody does a damn thing about nothing. Everybody's sitting around gossiping and whispering about what happened to Pookie, Ray Ray, Bubba, and he did this and she did this and oh, they won't do nothing and da-da-da-da-da-da. Everybody's watching an avalanche. You understand what I'm saying? But don't nobody want to do nothing. But everybody can gather when the shit hits the fan and spin a web about the person. Past tense. Don't you find that interesting? Everybody's got a version after the fact, but nothing's done while the shit is falling apart. And that's what's wrong with a lot of us. You're afraid to say anything. You're afraid to speak up. And I get it. Sometimes you just feel like, hey, it's not my problem. Not my journey. It's not my business. But this is bad. because he didn't have any business with kids. He didn't have a place to stay. Children being out in the wilderness, I don't agree with that. Some of you are into camping and wildlife. That's your business. But frankly, I don't think children need to be out with somebody in the wilderness. It was just cold a few months ago, so do the math. This is the Pacific Northwest. There is winter in Washington State. Stop playing. So when it was cold outside, come on with it, Queen, because somebody ain't woke. When it was cold outside, where were the children then in his possession? I'll wait. Sleeping in the truck. Rainy, where were the children? Exactly. When was the last time they appeared in court pertaining to the custody of these children and visitation? What did he ask the judge for? What did the mother ask the judge for? Did anybody become irate during court proceedings? So you have to ask all that, because there's a reason we are here looking at still photos of 3 dead children. And every question matters. Coulda, woulda, shoulda. Amber Alert didn't apply to these kids. Father not bringing the children back on time is not a criteria for the Amber Alert. Has to be proof of an abduction or endangered child, person, indigenous person, blah, blah, blah. Well, like I said to myself the other night, too late now. As I read an article a little while ago, the mother said it was out of the perimeters. I guess him not calling her. Interesting. So usually he would call during the visits with the children. So now you got to ask, what was the timeline of his visits? 1 day, 2 days? Probably not more than 2 days, because children have to go to school. And I'm assuming they go to school, went to school. So break it down for Queen. He called what? When he got to the campground, hey, I made it. Get to the hotel, hey, I made it. Call every hour, every 2 hours, every 3 hours, what? But this trip, no calls. So did he kill the kids as soon as he put them in the truck, picked them up? Was this a planned murders? Today, I'm going to pick up my children and I'm going to unalive them because I can. I don't want to be bothered. I don't want these kids no more. They're demons to me. What? I'd like to know his mindset. Because as I've always said, there is no logical reason to unalive a child. We all know this. There is no reason. I don't care what people say in court. The devil told me to do it. The tarot cards told me to do it. My alternate personality told me to do it. I see demons. I see dead people. Well, some of us don't believe in all that. Some people do have mental problems, but damn, it's just hard to wrap your head around somebody killing a kid. And in this case, 3 of them. And this is literally 3 blind mice. Not trying to be funny, but damn. 3 blind mice went along with the enemy and had no idea they wouldn't be returning back to their mother. And she has to be in a horrible state. That's why you have not heard from her, understandably. Not a case of missing children where everybody starts poking and wondering who did something to the kids, if the mama did it, if this one did it. Well, boom, boom, boom. We know now. They're not here. So nobody has to make up any conspiracies about the mother. You know y'all get jiggy when them children go missing. She did it. She did it. Well, she didn't. The father did it. But why? Why you kill these kids? Angry, bitter, mad, sick, mental. What? Schizophrenic. What? Seeing people, hearing voices. What? Or just plain evil. I don't want these kids. I want to be bothered. I want to take care of them. I ain't got no money. I ain't got no place to stay. I want to see them more. She won't let me see them. Blah, blah, blah. The judge. I'm mad at the judge. I'm mad at the world. What was going on with Mr. Decker? And as I said, this has to be a terrible place for the mother. Once again, I hadn't said it before, but I'll say it on this slide. My sincerest condolences to Mrs. Decker and the immediate family. schoolhouse community. Because I assume these children had friends, relatives. And as I said, no more parties, no more birthday parties, no more birthdays, no more holidays, no more field trips, no more going to school, no more nothing. No more hugs from mommy. Definitely no more hugs from daddy. This is sick to me. Sick and barbaric. And every day it's a story, exactly. Everybody goes to court, of course, putting on for the camera, looking all sad, like they don't know why they're there. Are we going to see that with Mr. Decker if he is alive? Oh, sad puppy dog face, wanting people to feel sorry for him because he's mentally ill. Well, we have to wait and see because we don't really know if Mr. Decker is even woke him damn self. And for his sake, he might want to be dead. He just snuffed out 3 babies for no damn reason. As I said, there's no good reason to kill kids or kill anybody because you can't have your way in life. Life is a bitch. It sure is. People don't like you. People talk about you. People cause you problems. People get on your damn nerves, but you don't go unalive. People break up with you. People divorce you. It's life. Life is cruel. Sometimes you got to pay child support, alimony. That's life. Your mortgage went up. That's life. Can't afford your house. Got to move. That's life. Kids turn on you. Life. Parents turn on you. Life. But this right here, this is unacceptable. Because there's no logical reason to kill your babies. And I'm sick of these stories about children. And as I was saying to somebody the other day, I wish people would think before having sex. No, I'm serious. Somebody say, oh, Queen, please don't do this. Yeah, I'm going to do it. Because you see, we as humans, we are hard-headed, we are stubborn, we are ignorant. We always want to do what we want because we feel self-entitled. And there are times we see the signs that people are not right. Just like this damn Offset, the rapper, he wants alimony from Cardi B. For what? You got a job, you rap, don't you? Well, sing some songs, make some music. She's got 3 kids with him. He wants her to pay him money. Are you serious? See, this is what I'm talking about. Craziness. You've been out here sleeping with everything with a pulse. Now you want this woman to pay you money. Oh, so she can take care of your new women, plus the 3 kids she has to take care of? Hell no. Hell no. Kimberly, we know that. But we're not in his mind. In his mind, they could have been the enemy. We don't know that. The man has mental problems. So we can't say how he saw life. Obviously, he saw life in a very sick, demented way because he killed his kids. But the point I'm trying to make is that everybody has issues and problems, but people do evil things when they don't get their way. As I was saying with Cardi B and her husband or ex-husband, Mr. Offset, the fact that he wants money from this woman, this just goes to show you what he thinks of her. Also his children. You were with this woman and you were out here with everything that walked, having affairs, sleeping around. Now you want her to pay you money. You see, things change with people. But the one thing I've learned, you don't really know people. And perhaps this woman didn't know Mr. Decker, but as she got to know him, she saw some things that was not right. Possibly that's why she's not with him. Or it could be vice versa. He left her, I don't know. And that's why I have a problem with this story, because a person who is mentally ill, has been diagnosed with a serious mental disorder, should not have access to children. That's just common sense. A man who is homeless shouldn't have access to children. I don't understand why in the hell she would let her kids spend the night. But once again, what can you do if the person don't bring the kids back? She doesn't have control over that. So I can't blame her on that instance. But I'm saying visitation, period, where he picks up the kids and take them and then supposed to bring them back. Hell no. He don't need to have no visits where he picked them up and then go out of sight. And I don't care if it was a woman, I would say the same. Homeless people don't need to have rights to take children off into the wind, and then you're sitting around waiting day 2 for your child to be returned to you. This is just crazy to me. So this is where the courts need to get their SHIT together. Because whoever ruled this man visits outside of a structured environment, you need your tail whooped. Judge, you need your tail whooped. Because this woman had to go into court to say, well, he don't got nowhere to live. He don't got nowhere to stay. Because what fool gonna let somebody take their child and they're homeless? What did I just tell you? It's May. A few months ago, it was cold outside. Hell, it was cold a week ago here in Tennessee. Where were the children sleeping when they're with Mr. Decker? Ding, 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 ding. Everybody wake up. This is what I'm talking about. Giving people passes. And you judges, you're just as crazy because you keep giving people passes. So we got to start from the top. Somebody gave him a pass to take his children out of sight. And you are wrong for doing that. Judge, you were wrong for allowing Mr. Decker to take his children out of sight without having a full address and employment. And I refuse to believe in my head this lady didn't tell the judge, hey, he ain't got nowhere to stay. Hey, he ain't got no job. Because guess what? I ain't heard that in the past day. Oh, Mr. Decker worked for such and such. He ain't went to work. Oh, he didn't return his children. Ding, 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 ding. Now, if somebody has heard a broadcast that he has a job, put it down in the comments. But I haven't heard nothing about a job, nothing about a house, just the truck. This is bad. This is so bad. Well, children don't come first, and that's the problem. Children are never first. That's why we're here talking about 3 dead babies. And the judge, it's time for everybody to start writing petitions for these judges that do these heinous type renderings in court. I don't care if it's child court, what kind of court it is. This is why we have these problems, because the judges give the pass. Everything makes it to the judge's desk. I don't care what type of crime it is, situation. The judge has the final damn say. So you allow a person to walk out of court after drinking and driving, plummeting their car into a business, hitting a little girl on her bicycle. You gave them a bond. It's all the same. You gave them a pass. You gave them a pass. This woman didn't implement this man getting visitation unless she told the judge, well, I don't mind. So then we got to ask that question. Did she even fight for the children? Because it takes 2 to tango. Did the mother fight for her children in court to say, well, Your Honor, I don't think he needs visitation because right now he's homeless, he doesn't work. So did the woman fight for the children in court? See, I got to throw that in there too, because we really don't know what was said in court about visitation, alimony, all those type of things. And that's another thing that nobody's talking about. She has the same last name as Mr. Decker. Ding, ding, ding. So when will they last together physically, romantically? Why are they not together? When they were together, did he hold his own? Did he work? So you got to ask all those questions. When the last time he had a job? Could he work? Does he draw a check? Disability? Was the wife seeing anybody, dating anybody? Was he seeing anybody, dating anybody? Kind of hard to have a girlfriend when you're homeless. I'm just saying. But this is America. You can be homeless with a girlfriend. Hell, you can be homeless with a dog. Don't ask me how I know that. Brooke, please. But he got a pass, and that's my take on this story. Mr. Decker got a pass, and now we have 3 children gone. And it's not to say that these children could not have ended up in this situation if Mr. Decker had a place to live, had a job. He could have still popped off because he has a mental disorder, which is borderline personality. He has anger management issues. So we still could be right here. Mr. Decker had a nice apartment, condo, house, cabin, shed, job, and he decided to unalive his 3 babies. Found a dog. Hadn't heard. That's the thing about breaking news. I researched things before I went live, and anything could change at a moment's notice. Oh, Lord have mercy. What a mess. What a mess. Now they got something from 7 hours ago. I don't see anything coming up 20 hours. He's facing 3 counts of first-degree murder. Peyton Decker, 9. Evelyn Decker, 8. And Olivia Decker, 5. He's from Milwaukee. Everything's from 16 hours ago, 11 hours ago, 1 day ago. Let's see what the New York Post has to say about Mr. Decker. Then I'm going to check out of here, everybody. They're saying he demonstrated more and more unstable behavior in the months before the horrific slayings, court documents show. This is by KIRO7 if you need verification. In the last 2 years, she documented a number of bizarre and troubling incidents allegedly involving Decker, including barging into her home, leaving the young girls crying, unattended, and hitchhiking over to the house 3 hours late. Whoops, sorry about that, everybody. Sorry about that. I was reading down. See, this doesn't make any sense here. Barging into her home, leaving the young girls crying unattended. Unattended where? In the wilderness? In his truck? Where? Campground, hotel? This is crazy to me. Hi, baby. Hi, Seth. How you doing? This is crazy to me. I was waiting to hear something crazy. Hitchhiking over to the house 3 hours late. What the hell is that about? This is crazy to me. You would go to court allowing this? This is so ridiculous to me. You would go to court knowing this man didn't have nowhere to stay. So if he's hitchhiking over to the house 3 hours late, so what are you saying? He's hitchhiking to come get the kids? It's really the same. I'm hitchhiking to pick up my kids. I'm going to hitchhike back with my kids. To go where? Oh, this is bullshit. Hello, Seth. See, oh, man. Whitney Decker formally divorced her husband, September 2024. So they haven't even been divorced a year. Less than 9 months before he allegedly killed his 3 daughters, Peyton, Evelyn, Olivia, and their bodies near a campground in rural Washington state. Bodies were found with plastic bags on their heads and zip ties around their wrists. Okay, I'm done. Oh. See, I was going to get off this live, and something told me to open this up. Salem's Lot. Remember I asked you all earlier, what the hell was he doing with the plastic bags? I didn't even mention the zip ties because I just didn't even want to mention that. Now I know. So that's why I said, well, how did his hands get bloody? Did the children bleed out in the bags? Nosebleeds, perhaps? The eyes, perhaps the eyes were bleeding. I'm not sure. I'm trying to figure out why his hands were bloody. But they said 2 handprints were on the back of the truck. So I'm assuming they were his handprints, or were they the children? Just have to throw that out there. How the fuck do you put plastic bags around babies' heads? Zip ties around their wrists. Where are they going? I don't believe this. This is crazy to me. Why are you zip tying children? They can't go anywhere. Oh man, this is bad. Decker's lack of stability was blamed for leading to a negative impact on their children, says Whitney. The 3 girls were deeply affected, which led to heightened emotional stress, she added. This is mommy with the children before death. Beautiful girls. Absolutely gorgeous babies. What the hell am I reading? This is bad. This is demonstrated through screaming, crying bouts at drop-off or when they get off a phone call, she wrote. Lord have mercy. So the children are screaming and crying when they are dropped off or when they get off a phone call, she wrote. So how am I supposed to understand what she's saying? Were the children emotionally attached to the father? To where they wanted to see him more? Or he was saying stuff to them to make them cry? I don't understand what the hell I'm reading. Travis also had some emotional mental health issues that were the primary catalyst to the end of our marriage. His borderline personality disorder and narcissism became rampant, she wrote. Here's the mother dolled up. I guess this is the mother. Very nice picture. Maybe they've been to church or something. Damn, this is crazy. Damn, this is crazy. Whitney first filed a petition of divorce November 14, 2022 in Chelan County Court, but at that time, Whitney noted that no protection order or restraining order was needed. She also noted no concerns of abuse, neglect, or violence with regards to her estranged husband. So let me repeat that, because I've been asking all those questions at the beginning of this live. You're now hearing it here. The mother says there was no concerns for abuse, neglect, or violence with regards to her estranged husband, who was a member of the National Guard facing disciplinary measures for not showing up to drills, the documents show. But all that changed in the 2 years between the first petition and their official separation. So perhaps everything was fine with Travis until he and the wife separated. When she filed a petition, I guess that was for the divorce or for the separation, because some people do legally file for separation. Black folks don't file no damn separation. We just leave, get the hell on, and go on. And then we do the divorce later. Just a little mild humor there. But seriously, maybe this is what pushed him over. I'm losing my wife, losing my kids. So was he in the National Guard at the time of the separation? Gotta ask. Wow, wow, wow. Look at these little babies. Beautiful. Wow, wow, wow. Is Travis alive? Because I don't know to use present tense or past tense. So once again, Mrs. Decker says everything changed in the 2 years between the first petition and their official separation. Decker was listed as a transient in the September 24th parental schedule modification filed by Whitney's attorney. He first moved out of the family home in October 2022 and into the Armory in Wenatchee, moving into an apartment of his own in the town a few months later, Whitney said in the court document. So here we go. He's left home in October 2022. He then goes into the Armory in Wenatchee into an apartment months later. When his lease was up, he bought an RV, briefly moving to Idaho, but it was repossessed. So this will be the downfall of Mr. Decker. Other incidents include when Decker had some outbursts where he burst into my home against my objections and yelled for the girls, Whitney wrote. She recounted how 6 days before Christmas Day, 2023, Olivia FaceTimed me screaming, crying. Travis was nowhere in sight, she wrote. I don't even know if he has all his teeth in this damn picture. I don't know what the hell's going on with this fella. Looks like he's got some crazy stuff going on. I don't know. dark hair, white man. Is he of reservation descent? Are we talking about a native man? Just asking all the questions, everybody. Is Mr. Decker a native? When Peyton went to find Decker, who was out with his dogs, he told her Peyton was unattended in the armory with Olivia playing on the lathe pull-down machine and smashed Olivia's fingers, she wrote. Olivia and Peyton were crying uncontrollably while Decker wasn't comforting either of them, she wrote. On another occasion, Decker hitchhiked to my house and asked to stay in the basement with the girls, Whitney wrote, noting that he was 3 hours late. He offered to have the hitchhiker pick the girls up from their school play, she wrote. What? Wait. Let me go back, so I think I'm losing my damn mind here. Okay, wait. Now, he's left the kids alone in the armory. On another occasion, she says, Decker hitchhiked to my house and asked to stay in the basement with the girls, Whitney wrote, noting that he was 3 hours late. He offered to have the hitchhiker pick the girls up from their... Wait. Pick the girls up from their school play, she wrote. Maybe they're not writing this right. This don't make no sense. Travis just keeps getting more and more unstable. He has made huge sacrifices to serve our country. He loves his girls very much, but he has got to get better for our girls, Whitney wrote, adding, I do not want to keep Travis from the girls at all, quote unquote. Decker faces 3 charges of murder and kidnapping. A $20,000 reward has been issued for any information that leads to his capture. Once again, if you want to verify what I just read, it is the New York Post pertaining to Decker's unstable behavior. I don't know what to say. We have Seth Rogers in the chat. Prayers for Seth Rogers and any viable information pertaining to the disappearance of his son, Sebastian Rogers. I'm at a loss for words at this moment, because all the stuff that she has spoken of in this article should have given grounds for the judge to say, well, Mr. Decker, I see you're having some trouble, keeping a place to live since you lost your RV. Did even the judge ask him, sir, why did you move into this RV? Because you're staying at the armory. I mean, what was the problem? Why didn't you renew a lease? So I find that interesting. Why didn't Decker renew a lease? What was going on with him? When was the last time he worked? Because that's going to be relevant as well. Did he have a problem keeping a job? So you have to ask all those questions. But the children crying, leaving them unattended, going into a rage, busting into the wife's house, wanting to stay in her house, he was unstable. He is unstable. If indeed he's still alive, he's unstable. That's why I asked all the questions at the beginning of the slide. When was the last time he sought treatment? Understandably, they said he had not. Diagnosed. When was he diagnosed with this borderline personality? How long were these two in a relationship? Where did she meet him? How did he act when she first met him? So you got to go back in the book when it comes to stories like this. How did we get here? Because we didn't just get here by accident. Somebody met somebody. Somebody liked somebody. Somebody called somebody. Somebody got married. Somebody had children. Somebody ended up having mental issues. Somebody says, hey, I want out this marriage. Poof, somebody pops off. And then they spiral out of control. And I think that's why possibly we're here today. That's why I asked all those questions. The motive for murdering the children. What is this really about? A mentally disturbed man who's detached from reality, or a man who's bitter, mad at the world, angry that he doesn't have his wife, angry that he doesn't have his children. Did she also put him on child support? Got to ask all that. That wasn't mentioned in the article, but I would assume a judge would mandate him to pay child support. Was he mandated to pay child support? Because a judge can say, well, I'm going to give you this amount of time to get a job. You don't get a job, I'll throw you in jail. See, we don't know. But in the end, child support, no child support. Finalization of a divorce, whichsoever. Don't know if she was working towards that. We're going to say present tense if he's alive. Travis is ill, mentally ill. Don't know his history, don't know his past, don't know how he was treated as a kid, who raised him. I'm not hearing from parents, sisters, brothers. I'm assuming some people are going to start jumping out of planes and drones to tell us something about Mr. Decker. There'll probably be some people tell us some things about the wife. Because you got to know something. Did he have mental issues as a child, teenager, when he was in the military? What happened to him in the military? Is this possible why he has some mental illness? So what was he like in the military? See, all that matters to how we came to this day of 3 dead kids, because we didn't get here by accident. After she filed for separation. But I want to know, was he mentally ill before she filed for separation? That's my commentary. Prayers for Mrs. Decker. She's reached almost $200,000 for the GoFundMe. I'm assuming, naturally, she'll take just a small portion to bury the girls. Probably bury all 3 together. Prayers to her and the community, family, friends. Prayers to the little ones who knew these children. They no longer have playmates to play with. All goals, holidays, birthdays are now gone. These babies are gone. As I said, there's no reason to murder your child because things aren't working out for you in life. But there are going to be some advocators that will say, well, he's mental, he's ill, blah, blah, blah. I'll let that sit right there. I don't feel like there's no reason to kill your kids, but I do know that there are people who are mentally ill, people who are schizophrenic. And if you are diagnosed schizophrenic, your mind will tell you anything. Your mind will tell you you can fly, you have wings, you're a drone, there are Martians in the walls, tell you anything. I don't know much about borderline personality, just from the description I gave you during this live. But dear God, he should have sought help. Because now, if indeed he's alive, he will become more desperate. Because if indeed he's alive, that means he has stolen somebody's vehicle. Then that means we'll possibly be looking for that victim and that car. And gotta pray he ain't unalive somebody else. I'm gonna be truthful. I want justice for him killing his kids, but I don't want him running out here hurting other people either. Because as I said, desperate people do desperate things. And in order for him to move around this country, he has to have another automobile. That means he would have to steal someone's car or truck. That's that. Like, share, subscribe. Drop your comments below this video. Follow the Queen on the Newsbreak app. Prayers. Whew, Lord have mercy to everybody involved. Oh, man. This is bad. This is so bad. I don't know what to say. I had a lot of questions. Some were answered. But it's still a tragedy. 3 babies are gone. Damn. And police assuming that this man is alive. I'd like to know what makes them think he's alive. I am curious to that as well. Okay. That's all I got, everybody. Thank you for your time. God bless all of you. Thank you again, Mr. Seth Rogers, for stopping by. Once again, prayers to you pertaining to your son, Sebastian. And I'll be back tomorrow, everybody, with the continuation pertaining to Sean Puffy Combs, who is on trial for 5 charges pertaining to prostitution, engaging in prostitution for transportation, racketeering. What else? I can't even keep up. Oh, human trafficking. Lord have mercy. Everybody's bitching and moaning in New York, crying, and oh, that's a whole nother story. Everybody's losing their damn minds about the charges. Some say he's not on trial for the right charges. Either way, I still see him going down. That's my public opinion pertaining to Puffy. And 50 Cent, you need to shut up, quit talking. Nobody cares about your opinion. Suge Knight, same thing. Ray J, same thing. Nobody cares about you all's opinions. And these news agents, News Nation, ABC, TMZ, whoever, Piers Morgan, please stop talking to these men. Just stop talking to them. Stop giving them a voice. Because the situation is bad enough. And I promise you, 3 more weeks of this nonsense in New York, people showing out in court, acting up, lady escorted out, more people testifying about their dealings with Sean Puffy Combs, being manipulated, coerced, forced labor, kidnapping. I have just had about enough. And I just think it's strange this man is even walking around alive himself with all the things that people have alleged about him the past 4 weeks in court. But this goes back to what I said. You keep giving people passes, they will continue to do what they do. So they're going to lie, cheat, steal, manipulate, coerce, sexual assault, drug. It don't matter. You keep giving them a pass, they'll keep doing what they do. That's anybody. And this man got a pass, Mr. Decker, to have access to his children when he was not mentally stable and didn't have a stable place to live. And I think the judge should allow him time to get a place to stay, to prove he's worthy to be alone with his children, because it didn't make any sense to have somebody getting kids and they were without a place to live. That doesn't make any sense to me. So I'm wondering if she even told the court, hey, he doesn't have an apartment. Hey, his RV was repossessed. Hey, we got to modify the visitation. Did the mother talk to a judge about modification? I'd like to know that. I'll talk to you guys later. Thank you for your time. You have been listening to the Vote Excel.